Hola, hola. See, I think for me, anything that's been similar to that has been kind of caution. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm talking. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? 10-4 over and out. Do 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 do. Yeah. Yo, I see it's lighting up. It's kind of lighting up. Ooh, 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 ooh. Can you hear me now? There we go. So, what was it? Oh, so for me, I think any resemblance of that has been over the years kind of more cautiousness of not understanding the situation or understanding what I have access to or what I'm capable of. And kind of like more, I think self sabotage and self doubt can be not being enlightened as to who you are in a lot of ways for a lot of people. Now, of course, there's some that is self. They just expect the other shoe to fall. It could be a situation where they, have lived a life where, you are expecting it because of past events. But I kind of have to be honest, I kind of have I think a storybook perspective because I kind of, for the most part, haven't really had a situation where I've doubted myself. I just may have been cautious, not being aware of like what the boundaries or what the parameters are. But once I got that figured out, it was kind of just like, oh, I might be overzealous about. That's what I'll be trying to watch for. Like, cause think I got it, I got it. I'm a even if I'm a fake it till I make it. I'm a, I'm gonna get in there. So but I think that could be an interesting dynamic because it's kind of both ends of the spectrum where there's some that, or there's most to be honest, where you know a lot of it is what they saw growing up or what their own personal experience was, and they are hesitant because every time stuff got good, the other shoe dropped, and that's a I'm kind of scared of that. I don't want to ever think like that. Like that's a thought process that will limit you because it's like you have expectations of something nefarious happening when you should have expectations of something just spectacular happening. But it's all about frame of reference a lot of times for people.
Mm, self sabotage, and you said the other one is self doubt. So I'll go first with the self sabotage. I can say I have self sabotage several times. I'll use the weight loss journey. Who people can identify with. Well, some people can identify with that, right? I had trainers, and I was when I tell you, baby, waist was in. You know, thighs was looking thick. I was looking good. Okay, and then once I accomplished those results, I was like, I don't need a trainer no more. I can do this on my own. I was going back to some old bad habits. And before you know, I was, plump, plump and plural. And so I was like, why did I do this to myself? But I have done it several times. Self-sabotaging in the weight part. Like it take months for you to really get some of the results you want depending on your body. And then it seems like so quickly you can lose the results that took you many months to get. Then let's talk about finances. you know I remember I had taught my daughter about saving. I was going to this church, and they taught us. We had they gave offered us free classes with Dave Ramsey, the Total Money Makeover. And so as I was going for doing the process, I was doing stuff with my daughter. And a family member was like, oh, they was telling my daughter, you did so good. You could touch some of your savings. And all the hard work I put into teaching her how to save, once she got a taste of spending her savings, it was like she no longer wanted to save, and even didn't practice the discipline no more. And so you get a few thousand, sitting on 10,000. Oh, I can do this and I can do that. And then you can self sabotage. Even if you don't have thousands, people can self sabotage with a check just on habits that they have, from food to smoking to liquor to shopping to whatever your vice may be, right? You could self sabotage in your finances. So the adrenaline of the gambling, when you think about gambling, it's just so many things you could talk about, and when it comes to self-sabotaging.
Self sabotage. I think Mo gave some good examples with definitely with the eating, cause that Rowan burger call your name. Well, you know you ain't.
Not the Roman
that
burger.
thing that thing be that thing be thinking, man. So you, so that that is a great depiction. Anything that puts the instant gratification over the overall gratification of conquering the macro goal as opposed to the micro is self sabotage. I think anything that throws you off your trajectory of where you plan to go ultimately, anything that slows you down, hinders you, is definitely self sabotaging. What was that? Self doubt would be like an example. Like you could be, oh, I, I always go to sports. It's crazy. Like for example, I believe our Browns quarterback, Deshaun Watson, has is dealing with or has dealt with in the past 12 months self doubt. He that dude. He definitely up there with Patrick Mahomes. He was just as good, but because of all the totality of what he's been through, being accused and what he's, his name being dragged through the mud and all the rigmarole, and not, really doing what he's done for 15, 20 years has slowed down his confidence. And I believe that is kind of one effect of what he's dealing with. But ultimately, he knows he's a top five quarterback, but he plays less than that because he second guesses it because it's became unfamiliar to him. It's been a situation where stuff off the field is affecting the stuff on the field. So self doubt, I believe, is just simply not knowing who you are. And then also man upstairs stuff, not knowing whom's you are, of course. But yeah, that can happen a lot. That can happen, man. Let you go 2 weeks and not go to work and then come back. You forget who you is. You forget you forget your login information. Man, you call a help desk. Man, your stuff it get a little frisky. So you man, speaking from experience, man, you might have just a 3 day weekend and it happen. You kind of just forget who you like. You forget that you sat at this seat for 692 days prior to coming back here for 693. So that's something that I think everybody has dealt with on some level, or you just forget whether it be just time away or just something something to kind of bring down your confidence. Maybe you had a bad day. Maybe this happened, that happened. Well, I mean, cause it's for me. Cause I know my freaking password. It ain't the mental. I just think I forgot it, but really, all I had to do is look at my phone. Oh, it's just self doubt of me being prepared. Like you have a little apprehension, like oh, I gotta go to work. Oh, I gotta go. Stuff. It's just that's just for me. I should say. So that's I probably ain't want to come in the first place. That yeah, cause I yeah. Oh oh yeah, that's the homie. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Nope. Nope. Absolutely not. Because that was bigger than that. That was what I would consider. an unfair consequence that may have not even been something he could foresee. Well, in essence, he just got blackballed out the league.
No,
Yeah,
no, wait a minute.
yeah. There's kind of more layers to this than
Yeah. Now I understand what you're saying because when you take a stand, you do have you can have consequences of from your belief system, right? However, he did speak about what his beliefs were, and we're supposed to be a country where we should have freedom of speech, right?
facts.
There was governmental officials who was abusing their position, telling other people what they
Come
should
on,
not do and not to support this man, which is, you talk about triangulation, right? And people went off of that. People went off of that for many different reasons. We could talk about um, people don't like to hear the truth. We talked about that a few weeks ago. When the truth is spoken, for some reason, people prefer not to hear it. They rather believe the lie versus a truth. Then you got people who may only believe their truth and refuse to believe other people's truth, right? Um, yeah, there's several things we could talk about, but I power to him still. And if I had $1 million, I'll send it his way. But I ain't got it, so you know. Oh, Not mother of pearl. I am on the floor. What I didn't I heard nothing of pearl, but I'm here. I missed some other stuff, but I heard mother of pearls. Oh wow. Mother of pearl. His mic is showing like he's unmuted, but he may need to leave out the room and come back in. I had to do that. Um, I agree with you. There are some things that you have to consider, or I would just say I agree that there's some things you have to consider as a public figure, and there are consequences when you choose to make a stand on your beliefs, and um, and it can interfere with your business, your livelihood, and all that. I guess I struggle um because some things I do feel strongly about, and I guess I may have been I may have put myself in the same situation if I felt the need to do a thing. Um and so when you talk about, even when I think about family, like, you still have to provide for your family. Um but I believe some causes that, I don't know, this is difficult for me. Some causes you have to state what your beliefs are, and I don't know, but at the same time you're supposed to provide for your family. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Cause why should I have to? The responsible thing is to, do what you need to do for your family, right? But at the same time, it's we should be responsible as leaders for speaking the truth and standing and being an example. Thank you. How to Hello?
There we go. Now we cooking with grease. Oh, That was, I think it was Olympus Has Fallen, or one of the movies where it was they had the president in the vault and they was like, oh, initiate DEFCON 6 because it was just all. So so if it just, sorry, yeah, if it's all bad, it's like, oh, DEFCON 6. That means we going to super contingency plan. I think I heard to that part, and then it just went. That is a fact. Did y'all hear any of my little rambling on? Oh, ha! So I'm like, because really the only way to really describe this was something that I think a philosopher, I think his name Plato. I think Kaepernick decided I'd rather speak my manner and die than speak yours than live. So also another wise young lady said, and this is what I think the NFL did with Kaepernick. They threw the baby out with the bathwater. They basically just went and just, you know, the people that was, you know, whether it be Congress, whether it be owners, you know, they just adhered to the fan base. They adhered to their constituents, whoever, you know, was helping them stay in office, helping them fund their pockets. You know, they just did what they wanted, and it was at a cost for some teams during that period of losing. You know, there was teams that could have used him because he was still fairly good. They could have used him to actually compete for Super Bowls and do all type of stuff. So I mean, he. If you got the right system around him, he's more a running quarterback. He got a cannon though, but he's not the most accurate. But you know, it's all, you know, kind of the deeper layers, like all, you know, all that's irrelevant. He definitely at his peak where he was at, he could have helped somebody compete for a Super Bowl still, but it ain't like it was Peyton Manning or you know, Paul Brady. But he was good. He was a good quarterback. He was pretty good, but he wasn't. Oh, ain't no. Absolutely. If Tom Brady did it, yeah, they would have just, you know, he would have lost a couple endorsement deals and competed for Super Bowls. Or if they, you know, or they just would have made it where the script was he ain't win the Super Bowls, which I don't, you know, that's kind of a running joke where they say the NFL got a script. But It's painfully obvious. If you know, unfortunately, the more you can do or the more talent you have, the more you get away with. It's just that's life in the big city. Yeah, yeah, that is a fact. But it's like I don't want it to sound like he just was just trash. You know, like the one he was trash. You know, he wasn't like that. It wasn't none of that. But I mean he how could I what's a good way to put it? He is like okay, let's just say let's use food. Okay, you got your Capital Grill, you got your let's say that's Tom Brady and you got Tom Brady, you got Peyton Manning is Cleveland Chopper. So you know you got your Hyde Park is Drew Brees at the time, you know something like that. So he would be more like a he would be similar to um it was a spot.
Applebee's. Oh God.
No, he wasn't awful bees.
Okay.
No. A little bit better than Outback. It
Okay.
was a place over there in Legacy Village. They used to be. Yeah, it was not cheap. a- Around there, but it's a place that used to be like
Brios.
not Brio, but it was a place that was the right. It was a place that used to be like right. Like if you going down, you turn in Legacy and you go on and say cheesecake is on your left.
Maggiano's. Maggiano's.
I mean, you could. I mean, we could go there, but it was a place. I'm trying to think of what this place was called. It was a nice little ambiance in there. It was a nice restaurant, but it went out of it went out. Well, they don't have anymore in Cleveland, but it was like right up the. It was like it's out of it. It's not here anymore. They still have locations, across the U.S., but they out of business here. But it was like it was
Maggiano's is gone, right?
Yeah,
That's
but that's over there by
the
that's by
mall.
Beechwood. That was yeah.
Oh
But I'm
yeah.
talking about where Cheesecake Factory was. Like say you keep going around that
Mm,
bend and then you going down there, it was a restaurant down at the end. That's gonna bother me. But that
mm. I'm about to eat a salad,
I'm about
unfortunately.
to eat it a little later, but yeah, that we can say cheesecake for and especially with today's how society is, we'll definitely say Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, that he was equivalent to Cheesecake Factory. We'll go with that. All things considered, in popular culture. Sure did.
Yeah. Mm. She's
She wasn't trying
ain't
to
like
eat.
she ain't want no Kilpatrick or whatever his name was. She wanted some Hyde Park. She wanted some Capitol Grill. You know what I'm saying? That's what she wanted.
Facts.
E- Everything
Facts.
has their time, right? Some things that was booming at one time is no longer booming
Red
anymore.
Lobster. Oh, bubblegum tag. I used to man every birthday. I'm like Red Lobster, Red Lobster. Man,
The stuffed mushrooms ain't mushrooming no more. You know.
you must have went to Beechwood, as they should have. It was too bad. Oh yeah, and now also you got to add the backstory. He had made reservations for a nicer spot, but she came so late they missed him. You ain't know that part. Uh huh.
Oh, I didn't know that part either. That
Oh
makes
yeah,
it
that's the
different.
backstory. That's what make it even more just heinous. What a scoop bar head, man. Man. Oh my goodness, man. That I mean, my man handled it how he did. Well, with that being said, I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and take you back to your vehicle. And he handled it right how he should. He was very respectful. He ain't call her out her name. He ain't do nothing but just drop her off. And to be honest, he dodged the bullet. That was the best thing that could have happened. To be honest, that was. Well, go back, get in the vehicle, and I asked, what's going on with this? What's good here? And depending on what she say, depending on if she getting dropped back off at where I met her at. Real simple. That's to keep that real stress free, cause you are a nut. That is a nut right there. Ain't no question. She is a
Wait,
nut
you
job.
said if you drop her, if you
So
said
if
if you
I'm
drop
not
her back
sure
off.
what how. because we're going with the parameters of the story. So I believe they met somewhere and she hopped in. So I'm dropping her where I got her from, depending on what she say why she locked that door. Because first of all, don't be locking doors. Like this ain't your stuff. This like what's going on? Like why would you, what's like that was a terrorist act. Like something you move it. Like what's going on? Like I just want to hear your explanation so I can understand. If math ain't math, and then it was nice. We tried, but I bid you good day. Good luck in all your future endeavors. Anybody else? Anybody else?
The sound did go out for a minute.
Oh, we just DEFCON 6 and all night, huh? I might have to
Yeah.
watch that movie soon.
Mm-mm.
That's on the strength. But no, just to keep it going, man, that was wild though. Like, why is you locking my door and locking me out of my car? Like, what is going on? I don't even know you, lady. Like, what's going on? Like, this is like now I gotta think you kind of like you the Goonies. What you got going on? What? Now my spider sense is tingling. Like, am I in danger with you around me? Like, what? This is kind of.
Maybe she just spoiled. Or maybe she just
That's
a little spoiled. I
that's
don't know.
cool. She.
Did he have do we know that they went out before this
That was
incident?
the first date.
Oh, okay.
First date, he, and then also I feel like he was trying to. I feel like she was kind of trying to set a tone and kind of chump him because if you can kind of tell like he was kind of like he he looked chumpable. To lack of a better term, like she was playing her hand a certain way. Like it was kind of wild. Like when I really look at the total, like it was kind of wild. I might be wrong. It won't
Okay,
be the
so can
first
you guys
time,
hear me
and it
now?
won't be the last. But you know,
Can
I
anybody
don't
hear
know.
me?
We it was just a lot going on in that whole situation. And then to put it on like
This can't keep happening. Hello? We can't hear. Nobody can hear me. My little Mikey thing is miking.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right.
Can you hear me?
I can. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of just because I couldn't hear y'all for a minute and y'all couldn't hear me. I'm just gonna kind of jump in where I was at and like double dutch. I'm just gonna jump back in where I was at. So with that being said, right, Mo, me and you, we have daughters, right? We have daughters. I have two daughters. You have one daughter, right? And as females, and I know males do this as well, but I'm speaking as a female. You teach your daughter certain things like and I'm just gonna be transparent. If you somebody come pick you up and you end up in a drive through, you need to go back. They might want to just it might not be second date situations. Um, Now I'm not talking about if you are like a preteen or you like 15 years old and you guys walk up to the McDonald's together and share a Sunday or something. I'm not talking about that. But I do tell my daughters, hey, you're gonna be adults. One of them already is. If a if a guy is putting his best foot forward on a first date and he takes you somewhere that you feel is not of value, is something to keep in mind. Now it could be that he don't have a lot of money, and that's okay, but it could be that he just doesn't value you. So it's important to match up, the date with how he talks to you, with when he calls you, why he calls you, what he wants when he calls you. Because if you go into Burger King every time y'all go out, and then after that he typically only calls you after 11 o'clock, he don't like you. He don't like you like that. you know but with that being said, um even with that, I was blown away. If one of my daughters did that, I would be so embarrassed. Like, you locked the door. Like, what in the world? Mo, what do you think as a mom? And I know you've taught your daughters, your daughter's standards. But when you heard this, like, what was your thoughts?
I I seen it and it's been a while ago, and so I was just like, I didn't know the backstory either. Like Dante shared that they went somewhere else and she was late. I think she was being a brat.
Hello.
Yeah, and if you were late, the least you could do is go on in there and get you, your calamari or your potato soup or whatever it is you like from Cheesecake Factory.
And let me
And
go
waited
with
to
the
the next
cheesecake.
date, and
Right.
waited to the next date. He did. You have to look at people intentions. You have to, first of all, let me tell you, my daughter is 16. She went on a date the other day, and he took her to, what is it, is it 57 grill, 50 something grill, um is it,
Grill
what is
55.
grill? Okay, grill. I done made up a whole name. A grill 55. So she say, "My, we got these meals and they was all, a little pricey because he's 17, she's 16." Excuse my grandma phone ringing. And so she say, but we still hungry. We still hungry. Yeah. She said they gave us all these little small portions.
Oh
We still
no.
hungry. She said their portions was pretty small. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, did you tell him thank you? She said, yeah, I told him thank you. But I told him I'm still hungry. So she texted me. So I said, well, Layla, don't be greedy because he did take you to a place, and even though you may be still hungry, just wait till you get home and you can go somewhere else after that. You know what I'm saying? She said, no, ma, I told him. He said, we about to go to Charlie's right now.
I
We
know
about
that's right.
She said we going to Charlie's now. So I think some people are just, well, when you talk about that too, sometimes you got to be careful because I know men who mean well and could take you to a very nice restaurant, right? But if they're getting to know you, some may not want to take you to a very nice restaurant. They want to see your attitude, and she showed her attitude at the Cheesecake Factory,
She sure
and
did.
missing her nice meal because she was late, and then she acted a fool at the Cheesecake Factory because she had to go there. And so some guys feel like, I hear a lot of guys say, well, all women want to do is go out to eat and use me for my money to take me out to eat. And then it's kind of like over with. So they have emotions, and think some of them have emotions and things that they're dealing with from their experiences of going out on the first date.
And I hear you, and I validate that, and a lot of what I hear, dates are, an exchange, whether were meant to be that to begin with or not. They are an exchange, well, if she go to the nice restaurant, then she better be doing X, Y, and Z, Z, Y, and X after the fact, like it's like it's this exchange, of service for service, if that makes sense. And I don't like I don't too much care for it, you know. Um we don't have to go to the nicest restaurant. I like the Outback. You know, personally,
Me
um,
too.
the first date me and my significant other went on was at Applebee's. He still got a second date. You know, is because again, it like you said, it's about the intent. But he also wasn't expecting anything from me either. He genuinely just wanted to get to know me. He cared about who I was and learning more about me. Heck, he set up the second date while we were still on the first date. Um, so but it was nice. It wasn't about oh well he didn't take me to a really nice restaurant, and that's not what I teach my daughters either. But I do let them know have an understanding of what the intent is, and know that if you ordering steak and lobster at a really nice restaurant, there is going to be something that is expected of you. And so be clear about what your boundaries are. Be clear about what you're not gonna do, and be okay with the outback. Um, with that, with that being said, um, before we close out, I want to end on I don't know what type of note, but a note. Um, is everybody okay with talking about maybe the worst date that they ever went on? Dante, can we start with you, Mr. Machismo? What's the worst date you've been on? I want to know. I have to know, sir.
Okay, well, the first thing that come to mind for some reason, I'll never forget. This was ions ago.
Ions. Okay.
Man, I was living in Kent and part time student going, working whatever, and me and my homie shared an apartment. He had his room, I had mine, whatever, whoop de whoop de whoop. So, he say, hey, I got these chicks coming by. Could you, just hold me down, wink, wing, man, just, I really, it was cool because I had to get up and go to work the next day, so I wasn't making no noise, no way. So it was perfect. So I'm like, all right. So the ladies get there, and cool. She's attractive. So I'm like, oh, okay. Surprise, surprise. Okay, you put me in position to glisten. All right.
Oh, I
But
love that. Put me
then,
in position to glisten.
but then, I want to say maybe like 4 seconds later, once uh they take the shoes off, man, this girl come and sit down, and I just instantly smell Fritos, and I'm like, I'm tripping. I'm like, man, I thought I vacuumed. I get to pull in the couch thing. I'm thinking there's some Fritos in between the couches. It never dawned on me for about 5 minutes that it was this girl's feet. And that once I realized it was her feet, it was like I couldn't even. I think I started playing a video game. Like I couldn't even take her serious. Because just to keep it funky. No pun intended, but maybe pun a little intended.
Get a little
If
bit,
you
a little bit.
if you can't clean your feet, what else you ain't cleaning? I don't want no parts of you. That's trash. Like that is bad, man. Like I'm sorry, man. Like that's just my personal. If you can't clean your feet and you a woman, man, some is true. Uh, good lord. But that's one that comes. I'm sure if I think about it, some I could think of something crazier. But that was one that just tickles me still to this day. Like
Turn
came
me
over here smelling
on.
like corn chips.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Like you done came over here smelling like corn. Like you just totally just oblivious, huh?
Feel
Like
funky, feel free.
man, how sway? How is this? How I just don't
Did
understand
she?
how.
Okay, so I don't know this person, but if ladies to ladies to ladies, did she have on tennis shoes or
Tennis shoes, tennis
Hey
shoes.
man, sometimes the tennis shoes like to hold the odor. Like even like it just it like it hugs the odor and then it makes sweet love to it. You know what I'm saying? And then Deeper Deeper.
What did they turn into chef for? What? I'm gonna lay it down by the fire. Oh. Shout out to South Park. Shout out to South
Yes,
Park.
love South Park.
Going down to South Park.
Well, I'm just saying, it reproduces, man. It makes babies, and you can't never get that stank smell out of your shoes, man. Like you put them in the washing machine, the dry, like it just. Some shoes you just gotta throw away, and maybe that day she made a bad choice in shoe.
Ah, now that's a valid point because that is a whole thing. But I know that there is substances such as powder. There are different things that you can do to eradicate that. So I ain't go. I ain't going. That is man. And I just started finding all type of bad stuff. I'm like, she had a booty chin too. Like I was just finding everything wrong after that. Like it was fun. But
Sorry to
all
my
different.
ladies listening that got booty chins. You are beautiful
I'm
too.
sorry. No, you. That was just her. Hers was just bad. Everybody else is good because her feet was stinking. That was, I'm sorry. I'm still tripping off of that.
If like real talk though, if that's your worst date, you are winning. You are winning by far. When you guys hear my worst date, you got tr- you.
What?
I got a few.
I
Mo-
mean, to be honest, I mean, not to cut you off. I'm sorry, but like as a guy, we kind of control the atmosphere and the tone of a date. So it's kind of like it's kind of I like you kind of know what you're getting into, like off like you know what's like unless it's like something blindish or you don't really know that like that's them was like rare, but for the most part as a man, you kind of you kind of setting the tone. As a woman, y'all, I could see some terrible stuff happening.
with that being said, I'm gonna shift it over to Mojo. Mojo.
Oh, I'm over here eating my salad, y'all. My daughter got me a salad from Chick-fil-A.
Oh, they got some good salads.
So, the worst day ever.
Tell it.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I shall not. I shall not.
Oh well, I'm about to pour it all out.
Go ahead and pour it out because I plead the fifth. Put me in the police car and handcuff me.
What? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. No, I have to hear this one. What
No, you will
happened?
hear it another time.
Okay.
You ain't gonna hear it tonight.
Okay. So then, if not that worst day, which I do want to hear when we're not on the podcast, by the way, what is the second worst date that you've been on?
The second worst date I've been on. I'll just say I was kind of. I went out to eat with this dude, and I was embarrassed because he was like, after the waiter came, he was like, hey yo, she wants something else to drink. It was how he carried himself in at dinner, and I didn't expect that, and it was just very embarrassing, and I was like, what am I doing here with
Oh
him?
wow.
It was very embarrassing. I said, has he ever been anywhere else? Like, it was just that was the worst date I can say I went on. The second worst.
Second worst, but we will
Yeah.
talk about that other one, just not on the air. I'm sorry, guys. You guys just won't be able to hear that one. But I will. No, but Mister Machismo, I hear you say, "Oh, I remember now the worst." What was the worst? If that Frito
Yes.
fillet was not the worst, what was
I
it?
rem- I remember. I knew I had to just sit and think about it because I remember something. So picture this:
Oh gosh,
nice
Syphilis,
summer evening. Yeah, you
1989.
know where I got that from. Golden Girl. That was definitely Golden Girls. So I'm I'm we are we are downtown. It's nice. About 8:30, 8:45. We're about to hop on the Good Time 3. And I'm talking about I have been trying to get this girl for like I ain't, it feel like I am maybe about a month and some change. Like I was like white on rice on that one. I'll never forget that. And so we finally link, we vibing. It's we standing in line getting our tickets to get on the Good Time 3. I get this phone call. It's from Mom Dukes. I just hear crying and wailing. My auntie died.
Oh my gosh.
I get this phone call. I had just bought the tickets. I'm like I was like I didn't even know what to do. I didn't know what to feel. I just was like in the twilight zone somewhere, and I'm just like um uh and we finish up. We finish. We go through the good time.
You went on the
I,
good time?
we went on the good time because I mean, this sound crazy, but I mean, she did. Ain't nothing I can do now. I mean, ain't nothing. She ain't about to wake up if I come. Like, it's might as well just keep going. Like,
That's a
she.
perspective.
I mean, she's still gonna be there when we over. Like, just keeping it funky.
I
Just,
mean,
I
it's
mean,
true.
I'm,
That's the truth. This is the
I mean,
death
I'm just
is
saying.
forever. Yeah.
It just is what it. Like, I ain't about to be all dramatic and all. Yeah, but it was dramatic though. It was like at the word, like I was like feeling great. We like it was going down, like, and that just said I couldn't even be Mr. Machine. I couldn't even be charismatic. I couldn't do nothing. Like conversation, just everything, just the air just went out of the whole everything.
Grief much? Yes. Yeah, of
Man.
course. Now, when you told her your aunt had just died, she didn't like say, "Hey, well,
Oh yeah, she was trying.
we."
She was, and I'm like, no, we just because I said the same thing. Like, I mean, she, I mean, me leaving ain't gonna change nothing. I mean, it just is what it is. Like we sad. We gonna be sad when it's over. Like when I on my way home, it ain't gonna be no difference. Rather I be on my way home now, or be on my way home in 2.5, 3 hours. You know. So we just we powered through like a soldier, and
Oh wow.
it just put a whole it just it was crazy because
You
it
couldn't have
just I
been like
couldn't.
emotionally present. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, come
like it
on.
was. Yeah, it was just bad. It was just did. I did even after that. Like even like we parted ways. We text here and there after, but it just she was cursed. Like it was all bad, man. Put all that energy just for it. It was a waste of my time because but it wasn't nobody's fault. It's just the way the cookie crumbled. So
Wow.
that was the worst. No, that's the worst. That by far. Yeah, that wasn't even nobody's fault.
Right. That was like definitely an external circumstance.
That was I'll never forget that. I knew I had to just sit and think like I had a bad I don't know what it was. Booyah. Get but I mean and the good time is always they got the right name for it. It's always a good time, but I ain't had a good time that night. To say the least.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Hey, don't be getting all awkward. I
I'm
can tell.
I'm like, oh my gosh, um, I'm like, like juggling between my regular hat, my therapist hat. I'm like, what's going on? I was like, good night.
Just throw on that kufi and rock out. We could, we, oh, but that, throw on that Kango and rock. But no, that was just yeah, it just just one of them days.
Yeah. Oh my
Man,
gosh.
yeah, that was heavy. That was heavy.
You
But you
know,
know,
interestingly enough, I have gone on a plethora of bad dates. Just yeah, a plethora. Um one comes to mind though. Well, actually two had came to mind, but then later on I decided to go with this one here. So I had did some online dating, at a time, right? Cuz it was just, easier, right? Um and so I had met this individual, handsome guy, right? Dreadlocks, attractive in nature, at least socially, right? And so we go to this restaurant. For the life of me now, I can't remember the restaurant's name, but we go there, and we'll technically we meet there because I'm not getting in nobody's car, and I just I don't know you, but we're sitting at the table, and the dude is he keeps saying like garçon, right? And I'm just like, stop being extra, right? And so we get the food, and and we kind of eat the food, kind of, right? And then I think he planned this uh a horse something or other, I think, something. Anyway, it was freezing. It was freezing outside. Don't, maybe not playing the horse ride in the winter is all I'm saying. It was cold. It was real cold. And but it was okay. And I know you guys are thinking to yourselves at this point, get to the part where it was bad. It's okay. It's coming. Trust me. Okay. So then after that, he asked me, could I take him to his car, right? And I was hesitant about it, right? Because I'm like, I don't know you, that much, but you seem cool. So I I take him to my car to take him to his car, and we get in the car, and before I know it, he's exposing his member. Just just random. Just random. Just expose the member. Just random. And then he's asking me to take my shoes off, talking about, he likes feet and all this other type of jazz. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What just happened here? What in the heck just happened here? And and then he's very encouraging of contact, if okay. And so, I was like, look, if you don't put your member away, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave out of my car. I'm not gonna be able to take you back to your vehicle if you're going to continue to behave this way. It's just making me very uncomfortable. And I say that, in matter of fact, I would just like to go home, at this point. And he's like, no, 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 don't go home, blah 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 blah. So he asked me to follow him to another location, because, which, if anybody knows anything about kidnapping and what not to do, you never let them take you to a second location. Just saying, you never go to a second location. uh, but anyway, um I was still hungry, which is kind of like what you was talking about with your daughter. I was still hungry. Didn't really like the food at the first restaurant, so he had asked me to come with him to a second location. I did, right? But I still had to address the fact that he took his member out in the car. Like, I was like, that, like, is that, you do you think that's okay? Is that something that you think that, I should have been accepting of? Like, do you normally do things like this and then, like, think that it's okay? and um and at some point, and I can't remember for the life of me how, all of a sudden this he stands up and he starts like tossing dollars at me as if I was like some type of exotic dancer. And I was just like, you have no class, sir. You have no class. Like you got some problems. And then, later on, and this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you do your research. You don't just meet somebody off a line and then go with them. And I thought I was being safe, because I was in my own vehicle and everything. But no, you research. And if you don't research, you research. Okay? Because later, a little later on, and not too much later on, I looked his name up, and he was listed as a sex offender. I was like, Lord. So that was that was not a that was he was yelling at me at some point. Lord, that was not a good day. It started off well, decent restaurant. He was dressed in a suit. He was handsome. He was putting on all these airs or whatever. And it seemed cool. But as soon as I let him in my personal vehicle, John come out, and I'm like, no, 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 John. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Thoughts, y'all?
Jaja. That was funny. Yeah, that was perv much. But now that that is that ain't that abnormal, unfortunately.
What?
It's
Excuse
a
me?
lot, but the part that I'm speaking to
Indecent
is
exposure much though?
not necessarily that part, but it probably comes with the territory. It's a lot, especially
Oh my
on the
god.
dudes. Like it's a lot of dudes that they don't want the stress of having to do all of it, wine and dining. Like my one partner who's pretty well to do always used to say, because he would let's just say he paid to play, for lack of a better term. He always said, "I'm not paying for her to come. I'm paying for her to leave." And I didn't really catch it until I caught it. I'm like, oh, like so it's a lot of dudes specifically that got that mentality where it's like, I got a couple of dollars, like this shouldn't even be it. Like what we waiting for? You just take this and we do what we need to do.
Okay, so let me just, and this is like, am I the a hole where they start to do edits and stuff, right? But first off, I did take him to his car, which was raggedy, raggedy. Okay, number one. All right, the best thing he probably owned was that suit, if he owned that. Okay, and the restaurant that he took me to, right? His friend was the chef, and he was eating. We were both eating a comped meal. Okay, so it wasn't even no pay to play. It was just play, and it in my car.
No, but the whole concept, it just triggered that thought. But that y'all hold on. He had on a suit when he did it. That's like
That's
you
what
just
I'm saying.
hold on. Wait, this is getting more crazier.
Jeez Louise. Yes, he had on a suit. I had on a beautiful dress. You know what I'm saying? I was rocking and rolling, doing my thing.
So y'all went somewhere nice.
Yes. Yes.
That
His
is
his
hilarious.
friend was a chef, or he knew him personally or something. I don't know.
Y'all
But
might have went to XO's or something. That
but the
sound XO.
the meal was, no, we did not. And but the meal was comped, like, cause like when we left, like he didn't pay anything. We just left. He was cool with the person. He dapped him up and all this other jazz. Nevertheless, I don't care. I don't listen here. Let me explain something to you. I don't care how much he paid for the meal. You know what I'm saying? You in my car that I'm making payments on. You know what I'm saying? And you just go take your John. No, the John needs to go back up. You know what I'm saying? You do whatever you want with little John in your own car. You don't come in my car.
Oh,
Thank you.
Hockey.
No, thank you.
Why keep going up?
I mean, come on, Dante. Come on, Mr. Machismo. Help me out here. Come on. Now, no, that was a bad date. And he when we got to the second location, sir, at some point, first of all, he was yelling at me. That's a no-go. You don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not nice. But then, on top of the you yelling at me,
Nonsense, because that was nonsense. You throw
dollars
Oh, no, come on now. Don't do this right now. Okay, just give me one sec. The sound is all again. Who knew? Who knew? I knew. I did know. Can you hear me now? Okay. So
with that being said, like, he was yelling at me. So I don't know if you heard that part. He was yelling at me, like he was arguing with me, yelling at me, like we were together or something. Like, no. And then at some point, again, as I said, he took a wide, not even a big wide, okay? Not even not again. I can't again. I cannot again with this. Let me see. I think it's him at this point. You see. Bum. Alright. What are we doing here? Alright. Maybe they cut us off. Maybe we've been on here too long. Dada, can you hear me now? Mo, can you hear me?
Yellow.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
I cannot hear anything.
Oh my gosh. This is so interesting, but not. This is interesting in a way in which it is not interesting at all. Let me see. No sound now. That's fun. No sound. Alright. Make sure I get my microphone here. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? This is gonna be the part of the show that I cut out because I got time. I got time for all these technical difficulties. This getting worse than the dang on date. Dante, can you hear me now? Dante, Mr. Machismo. Lord. Can anybody hear me?
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I said this is the part I'm gonna cut out because anybody got time. But anyway, uh, like I said, he pulled out a wad of money. Not even a big wad, sir. Small wad of dollars, singles. Ain't gonna start trying to toss them at me, one by one. Like, excuse me, sir. If that was my, if that was who I was, that ain't gonna cut it anyway, sir. I'm just saying. I mean, I was not. Obviously, I'm classy. What is that one? What is your name?
Yeah, I'm a lady.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a lady, right? But still, like even if that was my lane, you were a few thousand short, my brother. Pulling out dollar bills and tossing. I was like, get out of here! Get out of here! Now, you can't say that was not a bad day, Mr. Machismo. You come on.
Oh no, that was horrific. No, that was that was horrific. I think that was worse than both of mine put together. Like, I mean, the feet thing. Though. Oh my goodness. And I remember what the socks look like.
Oh, she had socks on.
Yeah, socks on.
Oh, she needed to take off them socks. That's all. She could have saved the whole night if she would have just took off them socks.
Man, but that's even worse. I mean, you ain't washing. Like, well, I got so many questions. Now, I will go with this because I was probably about 22, 23 ish.
Oh, you was young.
So that there is that factor. So,
Yeah, you was
but
young.
back, it was no, there was no, there was no room for anything. Like that was there was no like you sneeze wrong, you getting
Oh,
cut back.
these roll. Oh my gosh. A previous comment that I made is not. I feel off in my tum tum about it.
Hey,
Um,
what is going on today? Oh my goodness!
can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm feeling a little off in my tum tum, and I think it is because I said he was a few thousand short. That's not true. In all avenues, in every lane, I do see myself as priceless, and I hope that most other ladies do too.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. That was just I think that was more for conversation purposes
Yeah,
more than actual
it was a
a
joke, but I wanted to make
possibility.
sure I put that. I just wanted to make sure I put that out there.
Oh yeah, you
But
definitely wanna yeah.
but it was gosh, that was a bad day. Good night. That was
Yeah,
a bad day. That was a
that was horrible.
horrible date. That date was even worse than the date that I went on when somebody else offline, because learning lessons, right? That's why your 20s is just a lot of repeats. Don't the head be thick, you know. But and this last is last, I promise. But but I met this guy online, right? And so, he's like, well, let's meet up or whatever. And I'm like, cool, whatever. It took a little while. Of our schedules weren't, compatible for a little while, but we finally met up. And he had, his own car. I had my own car. We met at the Golden Corral. Okay.
Rouse.
Yeah, Golden Corral, right? And so we get into the Golden Corral, and I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. So he's in, what you have to like pay, right? So
Yep.
he looking, he look at me. Now I'm looking at him, he looking at me, and he wants me to pay, right? And so I'm thinking, okay, I don't mind paying for myself. I mean, why not, right? And so I pay for myself, but then it's his turn to pay, and then he looking like he don't got no money for him.
Oh wow.
And so, I was like, oh, okay, and I didn't want to embarrass him or whatnot. Definitely, I'm definitely a different person in my 30s than I was in my 20s, because I would be like, oh, you said you want to eat alone then. Oh, okay, well, peace. Or I'm going in and it was fun meeting you. Is where where I am in my life
Right.
today. But back in my 20s, I don't know, I guess I was more lenient. So I paid for him too, you know, and so we sit down. We don't talk much because this dude is filling up on food, like just plate after plate after plate after plate. And at some point I was like, oh, I'm not this dude's date. I'm this dude's social worker. He ain't ate. Something off. He came out to this date because he was hungry. His stomach was growling. And so he ate. I mean, it wasn't like we had a lot to talk about, right? Because it was already awkward, because I'm like, I paid for you. We had to go grab, and I paid for you. And but then, like, he has the nerve to have this arrogance about him, like he doesn't see anything wrong, like there's not a humble bone in this dude's body. At this, he just like, yeah, so what, and so he's eating and eating and eating, and he like, you're not hungry? Nah, not since I paid for you. My stomach shrunk at that point. I was no longer in the mood to eat. Okay. And so he's just eating and eating and eating and eating. And then and so then it's time for us to leave, and he goes to his car, I go to my car, and then we pull up, we're going separate directions, so we're side by side, and he was like, I'll get you next time. And it just peels off. I was like, ah! I'm not, I am no Holly Berry, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, I'm not, I don't consider myself that low on the totem pole. I don't know anybody. It's like, but you get in these situations and you're really uncomfortable. You don't know what to say. Somebody's standing there, you there, they there, the person at the counter wants you guys to like be done with the transaction. You pay for yourself, the person fiddling with they wallet that they know they ain't got no money in. And and then what do? You just leave them there? I mean, now, yeah, at the age I am now, he would have been left. But I mean, what do you just do? It's like you just leave them there, like you pay for their meal, and then you never ever go out with them again. But my point is, that date wasn't even as bad as the other date with the guy and the dollars and the John and the feet. I think that if there was an award for worst dates, he would win it. Like by a landslide. I mean, this guy literally just wanted to go out to eat. That's it. I don't think he liked me. I think he just wanted to go out to eat. He was hungry. And he wanted to go to a buffet so he could eat as much as humanly possible on my dime. Right? And that is not even worse than the guy, and again, the John and the feet. It's just not. And he will forever be what did they call it under DO? He would leave with the shoe booty award.
I know what you talk about. I forgot what they call it. I know what you talk about.
He will for always and forever be da 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 number one worst date in history. Oh, that reminds me of David Chappelle, where it was like the hookups and best hookups in history or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
He ain't the best. He the worst. He is the worst. Okay. But with that being said, I hope that he, is okay and that he got help and things, because there's definitely something going on there. Uh oh. Yes, caller. What would you like to say? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Hello. I was just curious um, about the best date that you've had.
Oh no, we lost the caller. Oh, I'm so sorry. We lost you. My bad. Sorry. Thank you for listening though. When the technical difficulties. Anyway, with that being said, thank you for everybody who was listening. I appreciate you, callers. Sorry we lost you before we was able to answer that question now. And Dante, Mr. Machismo, and Mojo, who I think we lost a half hour ago. I thank you for being here. I care so much about your opinions. I thank you so much for being here every week. With me, the world would be so boring if it was just me talking all the time. And diverse, opinions and perspectives. That's what makes the world go round. So I thank you again. I thank you for sharing, and we went over like so long. So I thank you for your time, because normally we only go an hour. But I hope to see you both next week. Anybody that is on, definitely feel free to subscribe to Supportive Advice, but also give them some love. Dante and Mojo, give them some love. Subscribe to to them as well. And I will see you all next week, Thursday, 6 o'clockish, kind of. And thank you. Oh, bye. Mr. Machismo, where's the oh, well, he gone. I'll do it myself. Claps. Bye. Top caller. Lord have mercy. Oh, I'm still on here. Thank you so much for joining today. Anybody who joined on Facebook, anybody who joined on YouTube, I definitely appreciate you all. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I also I'm a little behind on uploading, just to be a little transparent or whatnot. But you can also, catch our podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. You can catch the replay on Facebook. You can also, right. You can also catch the replay on YouTube. So definitely do that. If you're not a member of Call In, definitely feel free to join. It's free, and we're here, so why not, right? Also check me out on supportiveadvice.com. I joke here, and I am purposely a personality, obviously, but I do take the work that I do as a therapist quite seriously. So if you are in need of any type of therapy services, don't hesitate to go to my website and book an appointment, www.supportiveadvice.com. Thank you so much for listening, and you have a great day.